This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Alex Krassyuk, the promoter, of course, of Oleksandr Usyk. Alex, how are you?
All good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. We haven't spoken since the Fury-Chisora trilogy fight, so I think that's a good place to start. What did you make of the fight?
As a fan or as a promoter?
Both.
As a fan, I didn't make much, but as a promoter, it was a really good experience and knowledge for me to see that United Kingdom is probably the center of boxing universe. 60,000 in one stadium, open air, like plus 4 or 5 degrees above zero.
Yeah.
Come on, only in England, possible only in England.
And for a fight that we've seen twice before.
Very good, as Usyk said, it was a very good but very expensive sparring.
Yeah, very much so. We saw Usyk, of course, get up on the ring apron at the end of the fight and have a brief confrontation or stare down, maybe, with Tyson Fury. What did he say to you afterwards? What was his reaction?
Usyk's reaction?
Yes.
He said, Tyson is very emotional. He didn't understand much because not too many people can understand what he's saying, because he's saying he's like a machine generating some words, and among those words you always find something like doser, middleweight, rabbit, things like that. So altogether, it comes to a promotion. The good thing about it was then when Mike was off, said, "Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much," and we shook hands.
And it seemed very much that Usyk, while he didn't understand everything that Fury was saying, he did not seem to be at all intimidated.
It's not about understanding. Even if Tyson would be speaking Ukrainian, it wouldn't change a lot, because Usyk is a tough stone. You know, he's gone through many challenges in his life. So there's not too many things in the world that he could be scared of, including Tyson. He's in front of a boxing challenge. I mean, in front of his career challenge. He has to go for the second undisputed. He understands that Tyson is not just someone from boxing. He's a man from the top. He is the current WBC heavyweight champion. He's beaten a lot of guys. He's beaten the hottest puncher in heavyweights for 3 times. Let's say for 2 times for 100%. But what can I say? Nothing is impossible. So that's his mentality, that's his mindset, and it's not about Tyson, it's about Usyk. His fight starts in the training camp. When he goes through the hell within 12 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, he goes through 3 trainings per day, very disciplined, focused, and when he is coming closer to the fight, it's just a party for him. So he's done everything possible. He had everything he had to do. So on a fight night, it's just about to show what he did.
Now, we were told many times before the Chisora fight that everything was agreed for an undisputed contest from the Usyk side. Fury has now done what he needed to do and what everyone expected him to do and got past Chisora. Didn't seem to get any injuries or cuts or anything like that. So why have we not yet had an announcement of the undisputed fight?
2 main things. A fight like that is the biggest fight in boxing.
Sure.
So we can announce it, let's say, today or tomorrow. So we have a basic option to make it happen on Wembley or Cardiff or any other place in the UK. But as long as we are working for our men, who are the best heavyweights in the world, we have to bring them the biggest, the most of benefit. So we are now working on that. We are now working on a site. We are in negotiations with three countries on the Middle East, and we still have the basic option of Great Britain. So the worst scenario, it goes to Wembley or any other big stadium. Any other scenario is that it takes place in the Middle East. The deadline that we agreed together is the 4th of March.
Okay. For the fight to take place?
Exactly.
And is that the most likely date at the moment, the 4th of March?
It seems like, because I tell you why. In case it doesn't happen until the 4th of March, it's not likely to happen ever.
Well, okay. What could you see stopping this fight happening now? Is there anything you can see that maybe will stop it?
Tyson Fury's withdrawal.
Yes, but is that's the only thing?
Among the maybe some global things, some general things,
Sure.
situation in the world, but boxing wise is just one thing to stop it. Of course, you can never say about the injuries or anything unexpected, but from the point of view of a common reason, it's a matter of fact that this fight has to happen. Tyson has given his consent already. Queensberry, Top Rank, all are in. Usyk team, K2 Promotions, Usyk himself, we are on a way. So nothing is to spoil this fight from happening.
Brilliant. That's what we want to hear. You mentioned there all the different parties that are involved, the various kind of promotional groups and so on. When you were talking about negotiating with these different sites in the UK and in the Middle East, who's doing the negotiating for the fighters? Is it a combination of all the different parties? Is it Queensberry, Top Rank taking the lead? What's the position?
We are working in a close cooperation with George Warren. So let's say we are in touch once in 2-3 days. So I'm gonna give him a call immediately after we finish this interview. I gotta give him a call back because he called me like half an hour before. So we're gonna discuss what we have at the moment. We both speak to Saudis. We also speak to other representatives from the Middle East. So we come together. We join our efforts to make it happen. We are not competing. We are cooperating, collaborating. We joined our efforts to make the biggest fight of the millennium to take place.
When you hear Tyson Fury in interviews saying, I really want to fight Usyk, but sometimes these fights don't happen, and if it doesn't happen, I'll fight Joe Joyce. It kind of opens the door to maybe it not happening for people watching. Does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all because I completely agree with Tyson. I've been in boxing for almost 18 years, and there are often some fights, some big fights, never took place, like the one which was called the rematch between Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko. It was signed. It was almost the date was set, but Tyson disappeared. So I agree with him. This this fight can always be at the risk of not happening.
And in the meantime, we've seen two of the governing bodies whose belts the Usyk owns at the moment call their mandatory obligations, both the WBA and the IBF. Is there kind of an agreement with both of those governing bodies, to allow the undisputed fight to take place first?
Normally, when we speak about the undisputed, it goes above all the mandatories and all the belts. This principle has been adopted by all the organizations to encourage fighters unifying and coming to the undisputed. When we have the undisputed, it means that there is only one best man in the category. So it is. I can't state it's 100% approved, but all the sanctioning bodies are on the way to giving their consent. So we need to officially apply for it. We need to officially make all the statements, payments, paperwork, and so on and so forth. But we've never met anything like, no, this fight shouldn't happen next.
And if Usyk were to fight a Hrgovic or a Daniel Dubois, having had that Fury fight on the table, would it be a difficult one to motivate himself, given the disparity in the fighters?
Just put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always difficult to compare a fight for the undisputed, which is the biggest of all times, and the fight for to defend your title with the mandatory. Of course, these are two different things. But Usyk is a professional. In case there is no difference for him in a training camp, either he fights a mandatory or he fights Tyson for the undisputed. So he will have to work hard. The output is different, but if he has this objective in front of him, he wouldn't stop. Anything may happen. Usyk might go to the mandatory. You never know. Tyson Fury can withdraw tomorrow, or he can get injured, or can go back to the hard times. It's difficult to predict, but we have Daniel Dubois as number one in line of rotation. Sure. We know that he was injured in the fight, and his knee, his crucial ligament was broken, torn. So he will need like 6 months to recover. If Tyson doesn't occur to if Tyson doesn't agree, or whatever happens, and he's not Usyk's next opponent, then we most probably will go with the mandatories.
And you talked earlier about George Warren and working alongside him. He's, you're going to call him back after you've got off this. What's it been like working with him directly, more closely, and with Queensberry generally so far?
We've been knowing each other for many years, and it's not the first time when we are cooperating. So it's always good to come back and do business together. These are well-respected people. They've proved, his father and George himself and Francis, they proved to the world that they are big players in the world of boxing, in the world of promotion. So they have nice experience, good expertise, and brilliant team to work. So they produce some great events like the one we were attending a couple of weeks ago. It's always a pleasure to come back to London, to come back to United Kingdom, and to make business there.
And while the negotiations are ongoing for the undisputed fight, what's Usyk's mindset like? How is he at the moment from your discussions?
On the way to a training camp.
That's a positive sign.
He doesn't care much. Yes, so whatever he says, when people ask him, how are the negotiations, he always say, listen, I have a manager and a promoter. They are doing their job. I'm doing my job. We are on the top now because all of our parties do their job properly. So I leave it with them, and I better stay focused on what I have to do. So training is something that needs to be done within the next 10 weeks. So I work hard, I am focused, I'm motivated, I'm leaving Ukraine. That's what he said like 3 or 4 days ago.
Well, okay. Well, that's a good sign, I think, for the fight taking place,
Yes.
And what about you, Alex? You've had it's a very strange year because in the ring and with Usyk, it's been great success, of course, but there is the ongoing and tragic in a lot of ways situation in Ukraine as well. How have you kind of reflected so far on 2022 as it comes to an end?
Well, I wouldn't say it was. It would be my best loved year. For 100%. So the tragedy is happening, and it's still happening, and it will be happening for some more time. We stand strong. We keep a positive mindset. The human being can get used to everything, no matter how hard it is. So we got used to it. We are fighting. We are helping our soldiers, our militaries on the front line. We are doing whatever possible. By the way, Usyk Foundation is doing great job helping people of Ukraine. They are like Usyk is constructing houses for people who need roof. He's spending his own money. He's rising up money in the foundation and spending money on the vehicles, sending them to the front line, like helping just common people who are in need with food, with some clothes, with whatever he can. So he was quite busy after the fight with AJ. He made a lot of good things in Ukraine. So now it's time for him to come back to the training camp. And he knows that it's not just about boxing or about earning money. It's about helping his country, because when he was fighting AJ for the second time, the whole country was watching. The soldiers on the front line, in the mud, when it was like in a field, in a battlefield, they were still watching him. Wow. There was no connection, no electricity, but where they were watching him, sending greetings, support to him. So, and he did the same, because when he came back, he went to visit the guys over there in the east.
What's everyday life like for you at the moment with everything going on?
Well, how can I say? Today, this night, Ukraine was attacked by the Shaheeds, the so-called, you know what I mean? Yeah, the so-called drones. Shaheeds, they are drones that collapse and explode when they touch the goal. 3, 4, or 5 explosives took place in Kiev. So they try to ruin the energy sector. The people have no heat, no electricity, no water. But Vitaly Klitschko is doing his job properly. So all of the services of the city, of the locals, they are working hard to recover and to bring all the services back to the population, to the people, to the Kievites. The same happens in every city. All the people are doing their best to support the normal people, the normal Ukrainians, and we need to stay strong, because it will take some more time. It will definitely take some more time for us to get the victory. But if you ask any Ukrainian, if you ask, let's say, 10 Ukrainians, you will hear 9 answers. We will definitely win. And the 10th answer gonna be, I don't know when we're gonna win.
That's good. It's good to hear. The spirits are still very high, clearly.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Alex, really, really appreciate your time. I'm going to let you give George Warren a call back so he doesn't think you're ignoring him for too long. I don't want to be responsible for the fight collapsing. So, yeah, let's do this again, maybe after Christmas or after the new year, and see where we are.
Definitely.
Brilliant.
Okay. Then it
Thanks,
was my pleasure.
Take care.
Take care.